Dania After Dark.
Dania After Dark.
Dania After Dark.
Dania Beach.
After Dark.
We have an amazing event season. People are lined up down the street waiting to get in, general admission and VIP. What makes the city of Dania Beach and their events so special?
It feels like fall and fun. Good beer, good time.
I love all the people coming out and enjoying each other.
Dania's awesome. We love this city, love all the people showing love.
It does feel like a great family environment.
At our restaurant, we like to say that the food makes you family.
Love the vibe. Great entertainment, great food, great drinks.
I think it's an excellent continuance of the blues tradition here in South Florida.
Come check it out. City of Dania Beach, Dania After Dark. Until next time, we'll see you later.
My name is Ernesto Morante. I began studying art at the very same time I started painting murals. It all happened right same time. Moving Forward here in Dania Beach is the title of the piece, and it was inspired by local fauna, flora, things that inspire me very much, and luckily they're all here in Florida where I'm from. So I use a mixture of spray paint and house paint. I really appreciate both mediums. They both bring things to the artwork that it's very unique to itself. I enjoy using the brush a lot, and then I enjoy getting other effects.
Good evening, everyone. We are beginning. Good evening. This is the City of Dania Beach regular meeting on March the 24th, 2026. It is 7:01 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. City Clerk, if you would please call the roll.
Mayor Davis.
Here.
Vice Mayor Salvino.
Here.
Commissioner Llewellyn. Here. Commissioner Romoli.
I'm here.
Commissioner Ryan.
Here.
City Attorney Bootsas.
Here.
City Manager Garcia.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, City Clerk. And I need everyone to come to order as we get ready to have our moment of silence. If everyone could please bow their heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Attorney, if you would please read our statement of decorum.
Yes, ma'am. Individuals who wish to make any citizens' comments under that portion of the City Commission agenda or who otherwise want to address the City Commission must first be registered with the City Clerk, and the forms are available outside of the chambers. They must be given to the clerk before the meeting. Others who want to address the Commission on any matters must first be recognized by the Mayor. All such persons must use the podium in the Commission chamber. No more than one person at any time may address the Commission from the podium. Comments are only to be made to the City Commission and are not to be directed to the audience or City staff. No individual shall make any slanderous or unduly repetitive remarks or engage in any other form of behavior that disrupts or impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting as determined by the Mayor. The Mayor often allows applause during ceremonial or celebratory portions of the meeting, such as proclamations, presentations, awards, or public safety recognitions, as these are not action items and are intended to honor individuals or events. However, to safeguard an orderly meeting and to preclude intimidation of speakers on agenda items or designated public comments, the Mayor ordinarily precludes clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts during those items. No individual may speak directly to or address the Mayor, the Commission, or City staff. Comments are only to be directed to the Commission as a whole. No clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support of or opposition to a speaker or his or her remarks shall be permitted. No signs or placards shall be permitted in the Commission chambers. If any person's conduct, as determined by the Mayor, is found to be disruptive or interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting, that person may be asked by the Mayor to leave the Commission chambers. If the person does not leave and the conduct persists, the City Police Department will be requested to escort the individual from the City Commission chambers. All cell phones are to be silenced during the meeting, and all persons exiting the Commission chambers should do so quietly. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. Next up, we have presentations and special event approvals. Item 3.1 is the presentation of the Triple Crown Award to the Finance Department by the President of the Florida Government Finance Association. Finance Department. Please come up.
Good evening, Mayor Davis and Commissioners, City Manager. It is my honor to be here. My name is Nicole Gaspari, and I am the current president of the Florida Government Finance Officers Association. And I am here not only to represent the Florida Government Finance Officers Association, but to present an award that is a national award. A national award that takes hours and hours and hours of preparation, presentation, studying, reviewing, auditing. You get the picture. Hours of work to present and ask these documents to be reviewed by a panel of people for each of the 3 documents. So I just want to take a moment to talk about the fact that your esteemed finance team has indeed not just won 1 award, not 2, but 3 in each of the 3 areas. So I'm going to take a moment, if I could, to let everybody know what they've accomplished. The first is the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, which recognizes the annual comprehensive financial report. The second is the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award, which recognizes high-quality budget documentation. And the third is the Popular Annual Financial Report Award, which recognizes the user-friendly, high-quality financial summaries, which is usually what most of us read, right? And that's all 3 of those received the Outstanding Award, which makes them a Triple Crown winner. Now, this amazing team, this is the 2nd year in a row that they are winning this award. And I would like to call the team up here as I continue. If they would come up, they actually were led by our amazing CFO, Jamie Guzman. So let's have her come up. And in a moment, I'm going to let her introduce the team to you as we continue. But I just wanted to take that moment and a little bit of liberty to acknowledge the finance department, because most of the time, they are the ones silently behind the scenes, supporting every ask, supporting everything that each of you and all of the departments say, hey, we'd love to. Can we do this? And magically, they make it happen. And they love what they do, and they just keep working at it. They don't like this kind of recognition, which is why last year it sort of slid by, and y'all didn't get an opportunity. So I really wanted to take that opportunity to say thank you to them for all of the hard work that they do, the excellence and this high standard of work that they have set the bar for. This is 2 years in a row, and now the bar is high. So with that, I will turn it over to Jamie so she can introduce the rest of the team. And thank you so much for having me here today to present this.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager. Thank you so much, Nicole. Having Nicole here is a great honor. I'm very excited, and with that, I'm going to introduce the team. We have Barbara Trinka, who is our deputy and taxpayer.
Thank you, my fearless leader.
Then we have our supervisor of utilities, that's Sherry Pecoraro. Very, very important person because she handles all of our contracts when it comes to procurement. We have Sasha Ramos. And we couldn't do most of the things that we do with our super staff, and one of them is also a city resident, and she is Nicole Fagai. And we have a lot of parents in finance, so many of them couldn't attend, but all of my team is absolutely amazing. Amazing individuals, hardworking, anytime, any day. So I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
Huge congratulations to this team. This is an amazing feat, triple crown. This is the highest of the high. And so we always love to make sure that we celebrate our departments. And you guys are back behind the scenes, back behind the wall, but you're doing very, very important work to make sure that our city is fiscally sound. So I thank you so much for all that you do. And thank you for coming to present this award. And if anybody else would like to, yeah, we have to take a picture. Let's take a photo with the finance team. You guys come up here in front of us and we'll take a photo.
Yeah, I want to jump in there.
Oh, you all good?
All right.
Thanks again. Thank you so much. And congratulations again to our finance department, our all-star team. All right, let's move on to item 3.2. We have requests for proclamation approvals. We have Irish American Heritage Month for March 2026, sponsored by Commissioner Ryan. We have Esophageal Cancer Awareness Month for April 2026, sponsored by Commissioner Ramoli. And we have Paralyzed Veterans of America Awareness Month for April 2026, sponsored by Mayor Davis. Do I have consensus for the approval for the proclamations? I do have consensus, unanimous consensus. And next we have a presentation for Women's History Month or Women's Month presentation by City Manager Garcia.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Attorney, City team, the residents that are here with us, and those that are watching at home. So what a great honor that we just bestowed upon our finance team. I don't know if you noticed, but they're all women.
Yeah.
They're doing a terrific job, and Candy and I are very proud because every single one of those individuals were either hired or promoted by this administration, and they are a reflection of RISE and the level of service and the standard that we have here in our city and the level of transparency, particularly with being financially sound, which is a priority of your adopted strategic master plan. So today, I have the honor, I really enjoy not just promoting, acknowledging the work of our team, but recognizing them because they are the men and women in the arena. They are the one that are producing amazing results at such high level. And today, it gives me great joy to honor our longest serving female city leader. And this is an individual that has been with us for 24 years. When I was wondering whether or not I was going to come and apply for this city, the one person that I remember coming to this podium, that it's such an amazing, quiet strength, but such a professional. She has such a way of bringing the confidence because she is a subject matter expert in planning. And I always tell her, in my next life, I'm going to be a planner, or I'm going to, do special events or do what Nanette does. But Corinne, where's Corinne? Get over here, Corinne. Get over here, Corinne. Corinne LaJoy was hired in 2002. And in 2020, I had the distinct honor of promoting her. But Corinne, every time she steps in this podium and every time that she is presenting, rest assured that she has done her homework. I can reach out to her and say, tell me what's going on in Boston. Tell me what's going on in this city. And everything that she does, she brings with such a level of excellence. And today I was talking to my office manager, Christine, that has been here for a very long time. And she always tells me about the experience with you when she first got hired. And she always had so many questions, and you were always there to encourage her, to ask. She's an amazing employee, but she's an amazing mother. And I know this year, her one and only daughter left to go to Florida State. And let me tell you, and I know that's hard, because it was hard for me with a niece, so I cannot imagine. But what she brings to us, ladies and gentlemen, every single day, it's a level of expertise and quiet confidence. And she's been an integral part of how we've been able to move this city forward and being able to move this city forward successfully and in a continuous manner. So it just gives me great joy to present this to you, Corinne LaJoy, for your sustained leadership and commitment to the great city of Dania Beach. Thank you. Give it up. So proud of you.
Thank you. This is very kind, very sweet. Wonderful, nice things. I don't know that I've ever been described as quiet before, but that was very lovely. I appreciate that, and I have been here for a very long time, and Dania does have a special place in my heart, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Corinne. I think we have to take a photo after 24, 25 years. I mean, come on. Yeah. We're going to come down for that.
Oh, we're going to come down. Corinne, do you want me in the photo?
We're in one layer right now. All right. 3, 2, 1. The joy. Thank you for that presentation, City Manager, and congratulations again, Corinne, on your stellar career here in the city of Dania Beach. Next, we have our proclamations, item 4.1, that we are going to move to the next meeting. And then we have item 4.2, Commissioner Ryan with the Irish American Heritage Month for March 2026. Commissioner Ryan?
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate this. I hope everybody enjoyed St. Patrick's Day last week. And this is a proclamation from the Office of the Mayor, City of Dania Beach, Florida, requested by Commissioner Archibald John Ryan IV. That's me. Whereas by 1776, nearly 300,000 Irish nationals had emigrated to the American colonies and played a crucial role in America's war for independence. And whereas 5 signers of the Declaration of Independence were of Irish descent, and 3 signers were Irish born. And whereas the city of Dania Beach is home to a vibrant and thriving Irish American community whose members have made significant contributions to the cultural, social, and economic life of our city. And whereas the month of March has been recognized as Irish American Heritage Month since 1991, providing an opportunity to celebrate the achievements and contributions of Irish Americans. And whereas many Irish families settled in Dania in the early 1900s, including the Ryan family. and continue to provide leadership and service to our nation's political, business, and religious establishments. And whereas the Irish American community in Dania Beach has preserved and shared its unique cultural heritage through various activities and events, including music, dance, language, and food. And whereas the city of Dania Beach celebrates the rich cultural heritage and the many valuable contributions of Irish Americans. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City of Dania Beach Commission, our Mayor Joyce L. Davis, the Mayor of the City of Dania Beach, hereby proclaims March 2026 as Irish American Heritage Month in the City of Dania Beach and encourage all citizens of Dania Beach to honor and recognize the significant contributions of Irish Americans to our city, state, and nation. Thank you, everybody. Any Irish out there want to accept this? No?
Okay, at this time, we're going to move out of order for a moment because we need to do the commission, the citizens' comments first. And so I'm going to have Miss Mary Jane Misich to please come up and state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mayor, City Commissioners, and City employees. My name is Mary Jane Misich. I live at 4731 Southwest 43rd Avenue, Dania Beach, and I'm here to speak on the issue of the rezoning of the Griffin Living building, the two properties behind it. I feel that, for me, I want to see a notification through email because sometimes we don't get the letters. And it's just, we have technology now. I'm opting in to get that information. Also, the description in the agenda says rezoning from residential district to plan residential development. It's very technical language. I wish you need to put it in there because of legal needs, but then could you please put in also what is going to be built there? A 20-story building, a parking lot, clubhouse. And you could also, with this one, we do need to see, I know you have the attachments, but it's kind of difficult to navigate your website to find it. I mean, it could be available a little easier on your website. Also, this particular development, I would like to see a pictorial image of it. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen a map. We, as neighbors and citizens of the area, we need to see what is it going to look like. This particular developer also owns Sterling Living, and that is in the progress, but I looked on the website of Kush, and it also says that it includes a synagogue, which I don't know if it was presented at the time of the site plan. This particular lot, in Griffin Living, one side is it's an existing home that it looks like it's showing on Google Map as a synagogue as well. If you punch at it and look at it, the photos, you're gonna see a party with a rabbi. And this is fine, but is it a clubhouse where the public is welcome, or is it gonna not be welcome? That's my concern. That's pretty much it for me. Thank you for letting me speak tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Misich. And Ms. Misich had a medical. She had to leave early, so she needed to go, and that's why we allowed her to speak before the item. But we will move on with the next. Is there anyone else just for regular citizens' comments?
Mr. DeRosa had.
Okay, come on up, Mr. DeRosa, and state your name and address for the record, please.
Before he does, we'll take her comment and incorporate it by reference into the public hearing for the two items, which is 12.1 and 10.2.
Good evening, Sean DeRosa. As you know, I've been sharing with you since last year, early this year. There seems to be a problem with the long-term reoccurring violations at 414 Southeast 5th Street. I believe they're getting improper assistance from city staff, including the city legal department, not properly enforcing our ordinances as was read into the record, as was shared, as the language says in our ordinance, whether it's 17.80 or whether it's our parking ordinances. They had a lot of fines that were waived, $3,000 fines waived in June, October, September, and November. There's still a defective hearing that I'd like to hear from our elected commission, whether you're going to give me the opportunity to have a rehearing of the defective hearing from November 5th, 2025. Actually, our city attorney that's in back, Mr. Figueredo, misrepresented on the record when we asked him, is there a definition for unreasonably loud? He stated that unreasonably loud was not defined. That's completely incorrect. 17.80 is our definition section, and unreasonably loud is clearly defined at the 100-foot threshold. The city, as you know, gave 414 an opportunity to waive over $12,000 in fines. Unbeknownst to you, you were never notified about it. And part of the agreement was that the contract said that the payment had to be made by February 28th. The payment wasn't made until March 2nd. They were in default in regards to the terms of the contract. So I don't know how you're going to go about handling that, but when you allow our city staff to undermine and diminish the authority of our enforcement, how are you going to gain compliance? Okay, now the person has threatened to shoot me and is being prosecuted downtown. I don't know what more I have to do to share with you that there's a significant problem and we need to have a city workshop to get to the bottom of this so nobody gets hurt and people are brought into compliance. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Secondly, I share with you my concerns about the Southeast Drainage Project. If I poured concrete on your property like this on your driveway and it broke in half in 6 months, I guarantee you would be calling me, and if I didn't repair it within a week or 2 weeks, I would probably be hearing from your attorney. We're told we have very experienced people running our departments. Anyone that knows that are putting catch basins in knows that our sanitation trucks that are 50 to 80,000 pounds and dump trucks are going to cut the corners 5 to 6 feet. If you've been in public utilities for 20, 30, 40 years, you know the sanitation trucks cut the corners. They have to. It's hard to get around the corner. So why is this concrete snapping in half in 6 months? What were the specs for this concrete? Why is there no rebar in this concrete? Was it properly installed? I've done an analysis. I've shared an analysis with you all.
Let's finish up, please. Thank
okay,
you.
I've done an analysis, and I've shared an analysis with you all. There were like 15 sections in terms of specs and inspections that weren't done in the records that were given to me. When I did a follow-up records request, they wanted $800, and that's when I shared it with you all to take it over. I hope you will bring accountability to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeRosa. I assure you that we do take your concerns very seriously, and I do believe that at some point in our commission needs to have a discussion and discuss your concerns in the future. So at this juncture, do we have the next person that we have? Is anybody else up here for citizens' comments? Not item 12.1, that was a special case, but just a regular citizens' comments. Come on up, Mr. Kirschberger. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Robert Kirchgraber, Dania Beach. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission, and residents of Dania Beach. I commend you for recognizing our disabled veterans. I'd like to thank you very much for that. As a suggestion, I'd like to see some disabled parking put in all the parks as well as the city garage. Now that would really put the icing on the cake. That's a commitment rather than just a proclamation. Just an idea, throwing it out there, okay? With regards to your app, it says report a concern. There's still no follow-up being done on that app. There's no follow-up with citizens that put a request in, whether it's garbage or a zoning issue or a sidewalk heaving, there is no follow-up. And you can go back weeks and weeks and weeks and there's no follow-up. So that's very poor communication with the citizens, and that's lack of transparency. You're asking us to help you guys, help our city be better, but there's nothing coming back for feedback. I'd like to discuss some public records requests, please. I put some requests in and I was told that I have to pay. And I don't understand why I have to pay. Because I asked, is this being done on full, straight time, overtime? What's the situation? They said, oh, no, it's being done on straight time. And my question is, are we already paying these employees? These employees are being paid. So it sounds like a money grab to me. What if someone in the community can't afford the $75? Are you going to deny them those records requests? Just a thought, people, okay? And with that, I thank you so much for your time, and let's make Dania Beach better. Thank you so much.
Mr. Kirchgrave, I just wanted to make sure, you're talking about the Ask Dania app. Is that what you're referring to? Which app are you referring? I just want to make sure that I know exactly
It's
which
the
one.
Ask Dania app, and when it says View Submitted Requests, it's right on the top there.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. I want to make sure that's the one.
And if you go back and you look through that, there's absolutely no feedback coming back from our government.
Thank you for
it's
letting
important,
us know.
okay?
Thank
This is
you.
the second time I brought it up, but I do appreciate you taking a look at it. Thank you.
Thank you. And is that all for the regular citizens' comments? I believe that it is. And so we will move on to item 5, administrative reports. Madam City Manager.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I wanted to address, I think one of the residents that spoke earlier. I just want to inform everybody that we're in the process of doing an overhaul to the city's website. So it's going to be super friendly, super easy to use. So we're in the process. And so we're looking forward to really launching this website that's going to be extremely transparent and super easy. So I just wanted to put that on the record. Thank you so much.
Will that Ask Dania app be part of that, or we're going to do something different, or we'll just?
No, we are assessing not just the city's website, but the apps as well. You know, the more that we put out there, the more there are opportunities to get things right, but there's also flaws with the technology. So if we need to move in another direction from this app, we're certainly going to do that. But in the meantime, Mr. Robert, if you could take down my cell or Candido's cell, we'll give it to you. Shoot me a text and I'll respond to whatever your needs or our deputy city manager. I'll go after my manager's report, I'll go and get that to you. So anyway, thank you so much, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, residents that are here and city team. For the past 7 years as your city manager, I have provided over 154 managers' report with all the details, the assessments, and information that are occurring citywide. We have truly been experiencing a renaissance under the leadership of our mayor, vice mayor, and commission. And we've done so many firsts here in the city. As you saw today, Triple Crown winners, back-to-back years. But one thing that I'm very, very proud of is the unanimous passing of the city's strategic master plan. Imagine a football team without a playbook or a ship without having navigation. That document that you passed twice over unanimously has been how we have charted the course that alongside RISE, which is the culture that we've set here, this administration that has the 4 pillars of respect, integrity, and a standard of excellence. Working very, very close with our HR department, we have been focusing on the stability of our city. Just a year and a half ago, we were dealing with about a 20% turnover rate. We are now at 4%, ladies and gentlemen. This stability has helped us to recruit, retain, and promote the very best. When you see our Parks and Recreation Director, Cassandra Warren, well, that is someone that we took from Deerfield Beach. When you look at our very own resident, Barbara Trinka, who's our Deputy Finance Director, well, we took her from Hallandale Beach. And why are we able to do that? Well, because we are a stable city. We have a city that has focus on succession planning, and we are really investing in our team, and we're getting that return on that investment. And I'll give you the opposite of stability, and that is instability. When you look at, for example, and I'll just name 3 cities. City of North Miami Beach, 7 city managers since 2018. You look at the city of Fort Lauderdale, they're on their 5th manager in the past 7, 8 years. You're looking at Broward County Schools. In the 7 years that I have been here, I have dealt with not 1, not 2, but 5 superintendents. And that is a challenge. You don't get the opportunity to recruit the right people. And I've been very blessed. I have some talents, and other talents I rely on my subject matter experts and the team that we've been able to build. But I think for me, discernment has been a blessing, that I've been able to find diamonds in the roughs for a very long time. Serving as a city manager for 17 years, I had the blessing to meet our deputy city manager, Candido Sosa Cruz, and I hired him back in Biscayne Park. He has been with me. I'm not easy. Let me tell you, I am a type A personality with a very high standard that report to a team of individuals that have very high standard. We may have 35,000 residents, and if 2 come up here and they're not happy, we go back to the drawing board and we see how we can make things better, as you know, because we have one-on-one relationships with you all the time. Today, Madam Mayor Joyce Davis is bringing up an item that will be to bring forward a game plan for our next city manager. If we're going to really follow the strategic master plan that talks about stability and talks about succession planning, well, let me tell you, this is an individual that for the past 7 years has been your deputy manager and has been there with me, wastewater high to our hips. We've been going above and beyond for our residents. There's nobody that calls us that within 24 hours, we're not speaking to them, we're not at their home, we're not resolving the challenges that they're facing every single day here. We treat this city as a business, but we treat every single one of our residents like if they were our clients. And that's what we have been able to do with the stability that we have been able to build here with your support. And there is no one that I would recommend. As you know, I'm retiring now, May 15th, I can't believe it, but 35 years is a very long time. But for me, legacy leadership is not what I have done for myself, but the investments that we have made in every single one of our departments. A great success cannot happen with one person. And I couldn't be able to deliver, nor this commission, without the sustained leadership and work ethic and integrity that we have had from our deputy city manager, Candido Sosa Cruz. I don't recommend people too often, but when I do, you can put your hand on the fire that this is individual that will continue to seamlessly take over as your city manager and will never let you down. Will bring a level of integrity and honesty and transparency, and will continue to build this city and move this city forward. Because stability is what really helps us in regards to everything we do and the sustained progress that we have been able to have. And everybody out there, all your department directors, all your deputy director, and our entire organization is looking to see if we're just going to adopt a strategic master plan or a playbook that focuses on retaining and recruiting and promoting the very best or not. I have all the trust in this mayor, this vice mayor, and this commission, but we owe it not just to the citizens, but we owe it to the staff that we've been able to recruit, and we owe it to the future of Dania Beach. And thank you so much for this opportunity, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, City Manager, for that very heartfelt and truthful report. Next, we will have our item 5.2, City Attorney.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. I have no report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. Item 5.3, City Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Your next meeting,
You can't hear you.
sorry, your next meeting is scheduled for April 14th, beginning with your CRA meeting at 6 p.m. and your commission meeting at 7. And then your meeting after that is scheduled for April 28th, which is your city commission meeting at 7 p.m. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, City Clerk. And up next, we have our public safety reports by our very own Captain Jason Tarala of BSO.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Attorney, City Manager, City Clerk. So I'd like to start out by acknowledging that we're in the middle of spring break winding down. So we've had our ongoing spring break operation on the beach for the weekends. And as of today, we've had no issues on our beach. We've also had our ongoing operational plan over at Dania Point, where we increased our staffing, working with Dania Point and Kimco. And to date, we've had no issues during the weekends over at Dania Point. And we've also had a fantastic Dania After Dark, another one where from a law enforcement standpoint, from a safety issue, zero issues, which is also based on the relationship with me and Ashley and Parks and the city manager coming together to making sure that we're able to keep everybody safe. And I also want to touch base on that since March 1st, with all of our Jewish institutions within Dania Beach, we've done over 600 area checks. I had the honor of having a meeting with our Congresswoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, as well as Sheriff Tony and other chiefs of police from throughout Broward County. And we sat with local leaders as well as other rabbis throughout Broward County, and we were able to discuss some of the challenges facing the Jewish community, some of the ongoing threats, and making sure that we're all on the same page to make sure we keep everyone safe of all religious beliefs. And just so you know, and our community knows, we've done over 600 so far within Dania Beach alone in the last 2.5 weeks. And we've gone to every single institution, making contact daily with all of our congregation members, letting them know that we're out there, keeping everyone safe. We have decoy vehicles, and we'll continue that going forward for the foreseeable future. Over the last couple of weeks, my CST team has really been focusing on the Federal Highway Corridor. That's an issue that myself, the city manager, the deputy city manager, we've discussed at length. We know these pockets of issue. So I wanted to highlight that over at 1201 South Federal Highway, we ended up observing a male who was trespassing on one of the locations over there. We were able to stop him. We confirmed that an active warrant for his arrest, and then search incident to arrest. He had fentanyl on him. That same night, our deputies over at 707 West Dania Beach Boulevard, another area that we get a lot of complaints on for loitering. We went out with an individual, stopped him. He had a warrant for his arrest. We also had him for trespassing on the property over there. And once we got him searched into arrest, he also had possession of illegal narcotics on his person. Later on that week, we were also over at the 200 block of Sheridan Street with another individual that was loitering. We ended up stopping him, and on him he had warrants, and he also had possession of methamphetamine. And also over at that same night over at 1437 South Federal Highway, one of our deputies was conducting proactive patrol and ended up observing a male who was loitering. And upon making contact with him, he observed the male discard an item. Once we picked up the item, it was subject tested positive for crack cocaine, and that individual was placed into custody. So I really just wanted to highlight to the commission and all our residents that well aware of some of the complaints that we have in these areas, and our CST team has been extremely proactive, taking these challenges on head on and attempting to do our best to clean up those areas. And that is it for my report this week.
Thank you, Captain Jason Tarala. And spring break was crazy in a lot of other cities, but I'm so glad that you've been proactive and made sure that our city was safe. So thank you for all the work that you do proactively for our beach, Dania Point, and everything you do. People don't hear about it because you've already taken care of it in advance. Thank you so much.
And we'll have him out there again this weekend. So with the beach, Dania Point, the same operational plan will still be ongoing.
Thank you. Awesome. That's
Thank you.
Great news.
Thank you.
All right. And up next, we have our very own BSO Fire Chief, Sergio Pellicer.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager, City staff, and the great citizens of Dania Beach. So during the month of February, our units were dispatched to 633 calls. 533 were medical calls and 100 were fire related. This past week, it was a little bit of rainy and cold, so we went out and distributed rain ponchos to our homeless and needy community, and I try to keep them warm as much as we could. Our fire trucks recently this week went through what's called aerial ladder testing. So we have the ladder trucks that have the big ladders that go up 100 feet in the air. We have them tested every year to make sure that their ladders are safe and everything. Both trucks pass with no problems, so it's good to know that our trucks are doing very well. And with hurricane season coming up, we're going to start reviewing our city emergency management plan. So I'll be talking to all our department directors, getting some good ideas for future plans as far as emergency management goes with the city and making sure that we're ready to go. And then with that being said, I encourage every resident that's listening, now's the time to get your plan together. Now's the time to make sure you have everything ready to go in case of any emergency, whether it's a hurricane or any personal emergency. You got to go to the hospital. We got to transport you. You got to have a go bag. So if you're listening, please take care of yourself so we can take care of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that report. Yeah, go ahead and give it up for our chief. Yes, he does. I'm going to get the vice mayor for you, Chief. Don't you worry. All right. Next, we have item 8, our consent agenda. Are there any items that the commission wishes to pull from the consent agenda? Commissioner Ryan.
If there's no items that the commission wishes to pull, I move to pass the consent agenda.
All right, I have a motion from Commissioner Ryan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Llewellyn. All in favor say aye. All right, the consent agenda passes unanimously. Thank you, Commission. And we will move on to item 9, which is bids and requests for proposals. There are none. And so we will move on to item 10.1, quasi-judicial and public hearing items. Eve, if you could please read item 10.1.
Yes, Mayor. A resolution of the City Commission approving the following request for a site plan modification and 2 variances as submitted by the applicant, Maimonides Shalom Academy, Inc., for the property located at 5300 Southwest 40th Avenue within the City of Dania Beach, providing for conflicts on an effective date. This is a community development item. I will need to swear anyone in who's going to be testifying on this item. And since I have everybody being sworn in, we can do the swearing in also for the next one, which is Griffin Holdings LLP. So anybody who's going to testify on either one, just raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you so much. On the first item, which we're hearing right now from Maimonides, are there any disclosures to be made by the elected officials? Seeing none, thank you so much.
As far as having talked to them? I've talked to the developers, but I have not. I can remain impartial.
Perfect. Anybody else? Commissioner Ryan?
Hold on. Sorry.
I've spoken to all parties involved, but I can remain impartial.
Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Viviana Batista, Planning and Zoning Manager. And before you tonight, it's Browser Maimonides Shalom Academy with a site plan and 2 variances request. The property is located at 5300 Southwest 40th Avenue, and the property has 2 current zoning districts, one for single family 6,000 and multiple family residential district, which is an RM1. The land use designation is a medium 16 units per acre, and the site acreage is at 6.76 acres. And the existing use is an academy school. As you can see, the property on the map is east of Southwest 40th Avenue. Some background on the project. The property received an approval back in 2003 for a site plan approval of the school, and after that, they subsequently received 3 site plan modifications. Right now, the property is operating for a private religious day school, and they're currently serving pre-K, elementary, and secondary school. This is the current view of the school from Southwest 40th. And the proposed site plan modification before you tonight is to add parking spaces to provide more parking for staff and the masonry wall to the north property line. With that, there are two related variances. One is for the parking lot design. So our code requires for dead-end parking not to be more than 21 parking spaces. The applicant is requesting to allow 53 parking spaces with a dead end and turnaround. And the second request is for the fence placement. So the code requires a maximum height of 6 feet, and they're requesting an 8-foot fence for school protection of the students as well as privacy for the multifamily to the north. The applicant provided justification, which was included in the staff report. The applicant also has provided resiliency efforts. The site plan identifies 49.48% of pervious area where the minimum requirement is 37%, and the plan meets the city's interim design standards for groundwater and surface water levels before design. The application came before DRC 3 times in December 2023, July 2024, and February 2026. And although they have outstanding comments, they're being made part of conditions of approval to the resolution. The site plan and the variances further the comprehensive city plans in the future land use. And the applicant also conducted community outreach on February 11th, virtually meeting conduction, and approximately 21 people attended from the meeting, as well as the item was advertised in accordance with Article 610 from the Land Development Code. And tonight, Community Development is recommending approval of this item. The applicant is here as well if you have any questions.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions, or is this a public hearing? We already had that. Does anybody wish to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, I will close the public comment. And do I have any discussion? If I don't have any discussion from the commission, do I have a motion? Commissioner Ryan?
Yeah, I'm going to overstaff with this. I just want to verify the two variances is the height of the fence, which is going from 6 feet to 8 feet.
Correct.
And the parking lot's already in compliance, adding the additional spaces, that's fine.
Correct.
They're already in compliance with that.
Yes.
And the second variance is
for the parking length.
the length of
The length of the
drive-aisle.
dead end. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, yeah, with that, I motion to move item 10.1. To approve, yeah. Item 10.1.
All right, I have a motion from Commissioner Ryan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Llewellyn. All in favor say aye. Thank you, Commission. Item 10.1 passes unanimously. Next, we have, I need to,
Mayor, we need to hear 12.1 and 9.2, 10.2. If you don't mind, what I could do is I could read both into the record. We could have one hearing on the two items, but two separate votes at the end.
okay, so you're gonna just read both of them into the record right now. Go ahead.
Is that okay?
Yep, that works.
An ordinance of the City Commission approving the application request made by Rod Finder on behalf of 2700 Griffin Holdings LLLP for properties generally located at 4901 Southwest 27th Terrace and 4880 Southwest 28th Avenue. To rezone the properties from family to family residential district, RD 8000, and single family 6000 residential, RS-6000, to planned residential development district, PRD 1, subject to certain restrictions, providing for conflict severability and an effective date, community development, and a resolution of the City Commission approving the site plan modification submitted by 2750 Griffin Holdings LLLP and 2700 Griffin Holdings LLLP for properties located at 2750 Griffin Road, 4901 Southwest 27th Terrace, and 4880 Southeast 28th Avenue in the city of Dania Beach, providing for conflicts and an effective date, community development.
Good evening. Corinne LaJoy, Deputy Director of Community Development. The applicant this evening just advised us that they're requesting approval of an alternative concept for the subject properties. The site plan presentation that we have prepared for this evening is based on the site plan application that was submitted July 24th of 2024. This is the same design that was shared with the community in multiple community outreach meetings, the last of which occurred last Wednesday on March 18th. Yesterday, the applicant shared the alternative concept to staff. Unfortunately, none of the Community Development Review Committee has had the opportunity to review and comment on this concept. Therefore, staff respectfully requests that this item be continued to allow staff to perform the technical review to ensure that the compliance with all applicable regulations, including fire, engineering, zoning, and landscaping, is met. Staff is recommending continuance of both the rezoning and the site plan this evening. I'm available if you have any questions, but I know the applicant has a presentation to make.
Thank you, Corinne. And before that happens, Rod, just a second, I just received this information and I need to correct it or get it straight with the city attorney for the actual ordinance that this is being applied, where it says, whereas the city Planning and Zoning Board, sitting as the local planning agency, held a duly advised public hearing on January 21st, 2026, and determined that the proposed rezoning is consistent with the goals and objectives of the City of Dania Beach Comprehensive Plan, and therefore recommended approval of the proposed rezoning, RZ 034-24. So I was under that we were told that the planning and zoning did not recommend this as 4-1, and so it looks like that the ordinance
That's correct. It needs to be corrected. You are correct.
Okay, so if that needs to be corrected, then
I would concur with that.
okay. And so for me, this would not be a valid to move forward until that is corrected. But go ahead, Mr. Finer.
I think, Madam Mayor, you can correct that on the dais if you so chose with a friendly amendment from the members of the commission. What I'm going to do is before I address, so what you see on the screen before you is a revised concept that was a result of the neighborhood meetings that occurred last week. We had neighborhood meetings on Tuesday at PJ Melly Park, which about 15, 20 people showed up, including, I will say, yourself, Madam Mayor, Commissioners Well and Commissioners Ramoli, and a representative I know from Commissioner Ryan showed up at that meeting as well. We also had a subsequent meeting the next day at the Puglia Restaurant, which was only attended by 10 people who were the direct neighbors in the area who have been at all the other ones. I know Commissioner Ramoli was at that one. We also had our project engineer at that hearing, where he and the residents walked around, and at that time we got a really good chance to brainstorm where some of the residents suggested the plan that you could see there and if we could implement it, which is why we said we could do that. What you see is we added parking spaces in that plan. We shifted the location of the pool to the other side and did everything else like that. I'd like to address staff's comment, and then before I do a presentation where they were requesting a continuance. We would oppose that continuance. I understand that staff wants to conduct a thorough review of this. I am of the opinion, and I believe that staff can conduct that review as part of the building permit process of what goes on here. They can review, that goes through fire, that goes through zoning, that can go through stormwater, all of that. We understand that no variances are being requested as part of this site plan. We believe our engineer and our planner have looked through this. We believe that no variances are required, that we meet the requirements of code on everything. We understand and we will take the risk that if a variance is required, we understand that that would void, if you choose to take a vote and move forward today, that would void any approval that would be given today because a variance is a completely separate standard. It's a completely separate evaluation that you would have to go through one way or the other, where we would have to justify a hardship and several other things that would go forward with the variance one way or the other. We are willing to take that risk, but this has been pending for quite a while. In terms of construction of the pool, we want to get this done before summer comes, because otherwise we could lose additional tenants one way or the other. We think that staff can perform the thorough evaluation of what needs to occur on this in terms of as part of the building permit process, even if it's a more intensive building permit review process. So we think this is properly before you to go forward today with regard to this. So I would like to throw that out for you on that. Normally we work hand in hand with staff, and I understand that this was done, presented on Monday. What happened is we met with the residents on Wednesday. The engineer, we discussed the concept of what was going to be done on all this on Wednesday afternoon. Then we had to make sure that the engineer and the planner could
implement what we had talked about and do it so it was consistent with code. And that's just not setbacks and anything else like that. What it also dealt with is, because we talked to the residents about this, because one of the things they talked about was drainage concerns on what was going on. And as it so happened, the Wednesday we met there was drainage. It was raining. So they got a really good view of what the drainage was like. And we wanted to make sure we could handle that with, instead of subterranean vaults of what would be required or something along those lines, that could be handled by exfiltration trenches. So our engineer need to do the full sets of calculations and everything else. He did those when coming up with the plans, and that's why this plan was finalized Monday morning, and then we got out to staff on Monday afternoon. So we believe that, you know, understanding, again, the risk is solely on us for this. We will undertake that risk and understand everything it implies. We believe, especially, again, the overall concept of a clubhouse, a pool, and there is still a dog park on there, but instead we've added parking, which is what a lot of the residents complained about. They said there wasn't enough parking, that they wanted us to do more of that. We addressed their concerns in doing this, including addressing hammerhead turn lanes for the fire department, which was originally a concern on this, but we were able to work that out. Understanding that fire would have to review this and sign off on this during the building permit process. And that can be a combined process or anything else like that. There's nothing that says this is not, and I will tell you that frequently on controversial projects, though I hesitate to call this controversial anymore, that frequently you get modifications made to a site plan during the course of a public hearing where the developer or the applicant might stipulate to certain conditions, and those conditions are adopted as part of a resolution, and it doesn't require another full site plan review or anything else like that. And that is really, on this one, the concept of what's being proposed is the same on this one, so we think it's ripe to move forward. In addition to that, I would point out that in addition to setting this concept plan, which we agreed to several other conditions with the residents that I would stipulate as part of the site plan on this, which I will read into the record. This was sent to you all and staff earlier in the week. It was also sent to the residents who I had the email address of. But I wanted to say that, you know, they had complained of in prior hearings and some of our public meetings, trash pickup. What we have done is we have agreed, and it's a condition of approval, that the clubhouse, the pool is on the other side of the clubhouse now anyway, so it would void sort of bring out the residential trash, but the residential trash would not be applicable. No residential trash pickup would occur from in front of the clubhouse property. Instead, it would all be bagged and it would be brought by our property manager and everything else to our dumpster. So it avoids the accumulation of trash, which some of the residents complained about. Addition to some of the parking and some of the other ones on the northeast corner of the building, the residents had complained, the main building itself, not even what's going on here, the residents had complained that some people were illegally parking in that area because it wasn't designed to stop the illegal parking. So we agreed that with staff, we'd install bollards as approved by the city engineering department and additional landscape material in that area to make sure that there were no site triangle issues. Public safety, first of all, that we would do that. We also agreed that we would install, especially along the rear landscape buffer and along the eastern landscape buffer, more mature landscaping at the top versus what's required, like one other grade up in terms of landscaping to give a thicker wall, it's thicker landscape material at the time. And again, one of the issues was that the residents complained frequently on this, that even along Griffin Road or something along those lines, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, some other delivery trucks were missing the entrance onto 28th Avenue, and that's why they were either parking on Griffin Road or pulling into 27th. So we agreed that, again, consistent with code and as approved by staff, we would do sort of like a Griffin Living Enter Here sign on the northwest corner. Again, has to meet code. If it requires a variance, we know we would have to come back and do anything like that, but we would do that in order to try and alleviate some of those parking problems of what was there. And then finally, we also agreed that we would install a dense hedge of landscaping, if signed off by the city engineering department, in the easement area we are dedicating to the city for right-of-way along that eastern property boundary where you could see it crosshatched. That is technically not our property anymore because it would be dedicated via easement for the city to use for right-of-way purposes, but we would propose to install, again, city engineering would have to do this and everything else, to use that for landscaping materials, which would stop people from parking in the swale area or something like that. Again, that's been implemented in several other areas of the city. Those hedges don't impede traffic, don't impede visibility, but they're very effective because it's no longer just grass area. So those were the 5 conditions and the modification here that we had agreed to do with the residents. We think that those conditions don't impact the overall viability of the project. They don't impact anything that's going on. We think this is right for your determination now, with the understanding that this is at our risk and we still need to meet a full code. And the reason why we're doing that as well is going through a DRC process, again, is not just a simple process. It requires us an application by at this point, within a week or 2, with the subsequent engineering plans and everything else that would have to be done. That then occurs 3 weeks later. Then so what you're really looking at is you're looking at the equivalent of a 6 to 8 week delay to go through all that, plus then doing the building permits. And when we're trying to get this done quickly for our residents, so we don't lose the tenants, because we are required by the bank to keep a certain occupancy level and everything else like that, but still trying to address the residents' comments. And I will give due credit where credit is due. The young lady over there, she came up with the idea when we were meeting on Wednesday about not quite this idea, but coming in further south and doing a circular driveway with the dog park in the middle, and we realized that wouldn't work. But when we started fleshing it out with her again, the engineer said, wait, I think I can make this work with her and everything else. And so I will give all due credit to the residents. They came up with this and we found a way to make it work. So we think that this is ripe to move on. And again, as to relates to the rezoning, nothing has changed on that. It's all amenities. It's all this. There's no new units. There's no new traffic that's being generated or anything else along those lines.
Mayor, if I could be recognized?
Go ahead.
So, I haven't seen any of the conditions, so none of that was shared with me. So I have a problem with that we haven't been able to flesh that out. Having said that, this city is all about working with our developers, working with our community, and trying to come to yes. But it needs to be reasonable. The city has never approved a substituted site plan that has never been reviewed. So what I think it is reasonable for staff to ask for the time to review, and I'll ask for Eleanor or Corinne to come up to just verify how much time they need for that review. Could it make it to the next agenda, or do they need 6 weeks as been represented? But having said that,
I want to hear from the residents first. I want to go in order of how we normally do this. I don't want to just start, going.
I'm just making a recommendation.
I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate your comments, but I want to go in the order that we have. So, Mr. Feiner, I thank you for your comments. I want to hear from the residents who have spent their time to come out to be heard this evening, and then we can go back and talk about and let the commission talk and let the staff come back and speak at that time. So thank you for your comments at this time. I'm going to move on to...
Can I just say one thing, Madam Mayor, and then I'll sit down? I know you want to move on to the citizens.
I do want to move on, so please be very brief.
Extraordinarily brief.
Thank you.
I apologize. I didn't send this to Eve. I had sent it to staff. Eve and I had a couple of email discussions. In the interim, I assume that staff had sent it to Eve based upon our discussions.
Thank you. We're going to move on from that right now because we do follow processes here in the city, and we want to follow the process of this commission meeting this evening, which would be for our residents to come and speak at this time. So if I'm going to have Miss Christie, if you would please come up and state your name and address for the record, please. Okay, so
before she speaks, I just wanted to, we usually do the disclosures before everyone opens up the public comment.
I thought you did them already.
We didn't do it for this item.
Okay, so sorry.
Since the last meeting, have there been any disclosures to be made? Any communications have been had? It seems that 3 of you at least went to the community meetings.
Yeah.
Have you talked to anybody in the community? You need to disclose who, what was discussed, and whether you can be impartial.
I have talked to Ms. Christie, I've talked to residents who were at the meeting that evening, and I can remain impartial. Commissioner Llewellyn?
Yes, I was at the meeting. I did speak to some of the residents who were present at the meeting. I've spoken with the attorney, Mr. Feiner. I haven't spoken with, but I've received some texts and emails from other residents as well. And I can remain impartial.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn. Commissioner Romoli.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I was at both meetings, and I spoke to developer, attorney, and residents regarding this item, and I can remain impartial.
Thank you, Commissioner Romoli. Any other ones from the commission? Go ahead, Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I spoke to residents involved and the developer.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Ryan, and we all can remain impartial. Okay. All right. If you would please state your name and address for the record, please.
Okay. My name is Chandani Chisti, and I reside at 5105 Southwest 27. Good evening, City Commissioners. Firstly, we would like to say that we are very happy the developer is finally hearing our concerns and is taking on some of our suggestions, like the directional sign and relocating the swimming pool to introduce additional parking on the vacant lot. While this appears to be a potentially positive change, Griffin Holding continues to present themselves as victims. They state that the building on 4901 was never a synagogue. They claim they are not affiliated with one of the websites and that the website was created by someone else trying to drum up business. And yet, when pressed at the last commissioner meeting about the code violation for running a commercial business from a residential property, Mr. Feiner admitted that they shut it down. But how can you shut something down that doesn't exist? The developer switches between two uses of the 4901 building. They claim it's a residential property with people being invited over for a party, like a poker party. 7 a.m. meetings 6 mornings a week with much larger gatherings on Friday and Saturday nights. That's a lot of poker. The developer claims that only residents of Griffin Holdings use the clubhouse, and yet people continue to drive and scooter there on a regular basis, leaving their vehicles overnight Friday until after sundown on Saturday. If only residents of Griffin Holdings use the so-called clubhouse, do they walk downstairs to the parking lot and drive around the building simply to park on 27th Terrace? Why not just walk across the parking lot? Whether you call it a synagogue or a clubhouse is semantics. The bigger question is, can they continue to do this even though the building isn't zoned as such? The developer also claims they were victims of lazy valet drivers who parked on the vacant lot and presented their case as if they were doing the residents a favor by correcting the issue, when according to code enforcement, the city posted notice of violation on January 15, 2026. On January 16th, city records show a city worker's email stating a man stopped her as she was taking photos of the lot. He notified the city worker that his boss, who runs the valet, also rents the lot. She showed him the notice of violation that was already enforced so he could give it to his boss. On February 5th, they failed city reinspection because the lot was still being used for valet parking, but by March 2026, the owner was no longer in violation according to the city. The developer also claims they are victims of Uber drivers and delivery people not following directions, to which we have recommended the directional signage on 28th Avenue for Uber deliveries, UPS, etc. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you Alina? Or what's your name again?
Chandani Chisti.
Okay, Channeline. Okay. Thank you very much for your comments. So I'm looking for Alina. Please. Please state your name and address for the record. I don't want to mispronounce your last name.
Hi, my name is Alina, and Elena Illanes. I live at 4937 Southwest 27th Terrace. I've resided there since 2013. When I first moved there, it was called the Oasis. It's no longer an oasis. We flood, since the Cush building, we flood. Mr. Feiner said that last week, yes, we met and it was drizzling, it wasn't raining, so you were not experiencing the full effect of when it rains and how all that water flows towards us, but we have videos that we can provide. I am going to concur with everything that my neighbors have drawn up, but as per my experience, I'm constantly inconvenienced by the parking, people parking on Griffin Road. Oh, and as a matter of fact, and also last week when we were meeting at Puya, a truck parked there, and it was minutes and minutes and minutes, and they were like almost like 20 minutes. And when I asked them, the Cush representative and the lawyer, well, do something, he just threw their arms, and what do you want me to do? Tell them to move? And I said, yes, tell them to move. And to me, be as inconvenienced as I'm constantly am inconvenienced. I can't see when I'm trying to get out of 27th Terrace. I can't see. So I'm trying to make a right, but there's a truck parked there doing whatever, and I can't see around, and they're coming 45 miles an hour, and I'm scared. So now we have people parking on 27th on the mouth, and I'm trying to, 3 cars on a 1-car road, because it used to be an alley, and it was never opened to any further to 2 cars. Only 1 car really just fits. It was an alley to pick up trash. Yeah, the flooding, the parking, and without anyone telling anyone not to park there, no signs that say no stopping, no signs that say no parking, hey, they just do whatever they want. And I think it's kind of early to make any decisions on something that just got thought of, this pool in this area. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elena. Appreciate your comments. Up next, I guess we have all 3 presentations. Here we go. Jennifer Stewart, Christy Forgy.
Christy will go after me. So Jen Stewart, 4891 Southwest 28th Avenue. And I do want to say I do appreciate that the developer and Mr. Feiner are willing to work with us. I will say I was the one resident who got the email yesterday with the plans at 1:30 in the afternoon. While I was at work, I had Bible study with my mom last night. There's not really much I could do with those plans, and nobody else received them, so it was on me to distribute. My understanding is that a site cannot be approved for rezoning if there are current code violations, and there, I believe, still are on that property. First, the residential building as a business, which I thought was said it was closed at this last commission meeting. However, based on public records, I haven't seen that this is closed. And as Shandy had mentioned, it looks like it's still being used. The vacant lot on 28th Avenue, for the most part, it is vacant. Once in a while, there's still a car there, but nothing like it used to be. So glad to see improvement, but obviously that was a code violation issue. Third, the installation of the parking pad on 27th Terrace, which fails to retain stormwater on site, which is flooding 27th Terrace. There are also those unlicensed short-term rental units. According to planning and zoning at the last commission meeting, they're not allowed in the multi-use building, but yet, as of last night, one site online allows booking any of their 21 rooms at the Cush Boutique Copart Hotel, Fort Lauderdale at 2750 Griffin Road. And that's only one site with active listings for that building. The developer presented this as 1-bedroom apartments, yet consistently advertises 2-bedroom units with short-term rental occupancy for 6 to 8. Yes, we had an argument back and forth about what consists of 2 bedrooms at the community meeting, but I guess if you have a den with a Murphy bed, it could be a den if it's a Murphy bed without a closet, so that's how they do it. Yet we know that there's families there. We see a bus picking up children in the morning, and they even dropped them off when we were there at that meeting last Wednesday. The developer created his own issues by promising amenities that do not exist. He blamed the tenants, the workers, the delivery drivers, and others, but thankfully, again, we appreciate now they're open to addressing some of our concerns. But they shouldn't have been concerns in the first place. We've been working through issues from this property for nearly a year, and I'm exhausted. I'm tired of trying to call you guys and email you and come to these meetings, quite frankly. And we're happy that he's willing to engage with us finally. The motivation, though, is clear to me because at that last commission meeting, you basically told him, don't come back until you talk to the residents. Where am I? Given the history of denials, delays, defensiveness, and finger-pointing over the past 10 months, I have to ask, what happens once our support is no longer needed to come up here and say we support their project? That's why I'm asking you to take the Planning and Zoning Commission's lead and delay the zoning approval until the violations are resolved and the developer earns our trust.
Thank you, Ms. Stewart. Kirsty Forgy, please come up and state your name and address for the record, please.
Kirsty Forgy, 5111 Southwest 27th Terrace. Thank you very much for hearing me. Good evening, everybody. We stand before you today because we are invested in this neighborhood, our community. We have lived here for multiple years, some of us 20 plus years. We care about this whole community and what happens to it, not just the developer's beautiful building and all the problems it creates. We have clearly shown the issues the developer has with his current properties and the outstanding violations. We have also shown our willingness not only to meet with the developer, but also think outside the box to come up with suggestions that will allow the developer to fulfill his promises of amenities to his residents, suggestions that would hopefully restore our neighborhood and quality of life. The P&Z committee were willing to stand up for the existing long-term invested community members and recommended that the developer takes a year to prove he can be a good neighbor. If it only takes 6 months, we're fine with that. If it takes 3, we're fine with that. To quote the developer, things take time. He requested 30 days to organize the trash disposal into the dumpsters at the main Griffin Living, yet he has sent us new site plans less than 30 hours before the commissioners' meeting and is asking us for our blessing literally overnight. How can something be approved so quickly without more details? We have all sorts of questions regarding the new plan, to which we need additional answers, and this takes time. The chain link fence doesn't run the entire length of the property, which is needed to stop people cutting through the current vegetation where tracks have been created in the existing barrier. Is the land being raised? You know, the slab already floods, so are they addressing the slope of the land so that it doesn't flood? I don't see trees. It doesn't specify what the vegetation is, so we have no idea if it's going to block lights. Additional parking lights, there's no building buffer between the parking lot and the residence. So can these lights in the additional area be dimmer to protect both the residents and the neighborhood screech owl population? Lights are dimmed for turtle season and still considered safe. Yes, residents complain on the beach, but if the developer and residents agree to this safer, dimmer option, is it a possibility on this plan? Are they taking the live oaks out to accommodate more parking because live oaks are protected by law? And how will these changes be monitored to show compliance? We are still trying to work with the developer, but we need some assurances that our issues will be addressed. Also, we need time to meet with the city's P&Z staff, and we'd like to meet with the Development Review Committee because they have the engineering experts to give us the answers we need regarding the new proposal. We request you give the developer time to fix his current problems, prove themselves as good neighbors, at which point we can reconvene for rezoning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Forgy. And I think I have Shandy Christie. You already went. Okay. All right, so I believe that is the end. Oh, Mr. DeRosa, please come. And Mr. Kirschberger. Mr. DeRosa, please state your name and address for the record, please. Well, you already have, so you can.
Good evening, Sean DeRosa. Before I even get started, I went on about 5 or 6 booking sites, and there's like over 50 to 60 reviews for vacation rentals, boutique hotel. I mean, it's not right. There's no way you can approve anything with this type of non-compliance. And you heard from your director of planning, Eleanor, she's not going to even enforce it. You asked her to enforce it, but she said it's not her responsibility. So how are you going to bring compliance? I just handed out a matrix, but I'll start my comments. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Before I begin, I respectfully ask, before this item proceeds, can the city attorney confirm for the record whether the Land Development Code requires a property to be in compliance with existing permitting and site development requirements prior to approval of rezoning, or whether the city has taken the position that compliance can occur after approval? Can you please state on the record, City Attorney? Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, can you please ask the city attorney to state on the record?
Why don't you finish your, we will address it after your comments.
I provided a two-page summary for the record. This is a two-page summary. Page 1 shows the required findings. Page 2 shows where staff's position conflicts with the code. This decision is governed by Chapter 28 of the Dania Beach Land Development Code, which requires the development being compliant, compatible, and not create adverse impacts. Under Section 28635-80, site plans must demonstrate compliance and not adversely impact surrounding properties. And Chapter 28 requires that stormwater be retained on site, parking be provided on site, development remain compatible with residential neighborhoods, and all improvements be properly permitted. The evidence in the record shows stormwater impacting adjacent homes, parking overflow into neighborhoods, noise impacts from existing activity, recurring trash issues, and ongoing concerns with vacation rental activity in a non-permitted zoning district. These are patterns, not isolated issues. There are also existing unpermitted improvements. And we are being told rezoning must be granted first so the applicant can come into compliance. That reverses the law. Compliance must come before approval, not after. We may also hear this is just adding amenities, but under Chapter 28 in Florida law, impacts, not labels, control. A clubhouse, pool, and dog park increases intensity, traffic, noise, activity, guests, and visitors. And under Florida law, Chapter 28 requires that development be compatible, compliant, and not create adverse impacts. Under Snyder and Valiant, may I please have 30 seconds more, Mayor?
15 seconds, Mr. DeRosa.
Under
please.
Snyder and Valiant, those conditions mean the required findings for approval cannot be made. In closing, this application does not meet the requirements of Chapter 28. It does not demonstrate compliance, and it does not protect surrounding residential neighborhoods. For those reasons, this rezoning should be denied. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeRosa. City Attorney, can you address his question about the compliance and approval process from a legal standpoint?
For your general violations, if there's a code violation out there, no, they cannot come forward for an application. If the application cures a violation, for example, setbacks or that type of thing, then yes, it can come forward so that those items can be made into compliance. There are two ways of doing it. You could either remove it or you could allow it through this process. That being said, vacation rentals specifically, and this, I actually answered this question earlier today for Commissioner Ryan. The city's vacation rental chapter is enforced for single family, 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family dwellings. The city's vacation rental chapter does not apply to multifamily residential buildings.
Thank you for the clarification, City Attorney. Mr. Kirchberger, please.
Robert Kirchgraber, Dania Beach. I attended the outreach meeting last week at PJ Mill Park. There were definitely some concerns there. One of the things that we were concerned about is the 2 live oaks and preserving them. Okay, that was very important. I still have not seen a landscape plan. I ask that the commission table this item for this evening. I think a 30-hour notice and slamming this through it sounds like something Washington would do. We're better than that, okay? We just can't, oh, hurry up, let's get this thing done. This is going to and can affect the entire build out of Griffin Road. If they're allowed to do it and there's concerns that the neighbors and the residents have, we need those addressed. We need those addressed. And I don't think today we have the answers for this. This is something that needs to be tabled. We need to get together back with the community. We need to see these site plans. My vision isn't the greatest, but I can still pass a driver's test, folks. And I could not read what he put up on the screen. I could not differentiate what was what. It's all blurry. This is the first time I've seen it. So with that being said, 30 hours is not good enough. We need more. Parking, minutes. These meetings were held, and they were meetings with the residents, but there was no video, there was no minutes taken. It's just whatever we're saying. I was there, I heard this was said. There was no actual documenting of this meeting that I'm aware of. If there is, please let me know. I'd like to read it. Parking is still a problem. I'd like new meetings with the residents, is what I'm asking for. And to table this until those meetings are held and we get better site plans and better discussion on this. And with that, I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Kirchgerber. All right, I believe that concludes public comment.
I think I could maybe help matters along here. In deference to staff on this, understanding what staff has requested, if staff can agree that we can be back in your second meeting in April, we'll defer this to your second meeting in April. Staff can do its review that it needs to do. We'll have one more public outreach after, 2 weeks after staff has gone through a review, if that's what the residents have wanted. And we would agree to that, but I would request it be continued to a time and date certain second meeting, so there's no new advertising that has to be done and everything else. Those are all expenses and issues that, again, by doing this, the developer would need to incur. We see the residents there. I'll send out the notice to them once we get it set, but we'll defer to the second meeting in April to give staff the time that they've requested.
Staff, I would like staff to respond to that to make sure that that gives them sufficient time to do what they need to do.
Just so we're clear, that date is April 28th.
Good evening. We would be happy to review the new concept that they have in mind.
Microphone a little bit.
Sorry. We'd be happy to look at the new concept that they have. I don't know how far along they are on the new concept, so I would want a complete package so that I can share it with my engineers and my fire and all that. So if they're able to provide it, we can do it on an expedited review. I mean, I don't know how far along he is on the plans. I don't know, because if we continued it to the 14th, that gives staff 1 week to review, and we're pushing her,
Well, they
her
said the
deadlines as
second
well.
weekend at
So
the
if we
28th.
yeah, I think that's
so I just want to make sure that the
that
28th
works,
would.
provided the applicant has the plans and they're ready to go. That would work.
Okay. All right. All right, so that will close all the comments, and so the request is for continuance at this time until April the 28th. Commissioner Ramoli?
And I just want to clarify, Mayor, if I may, deferring it to the meeting later on would make this a first reading again, correct?
No,
I
it
just
would
wanna-
not.
Okay.
Well, just to be clear, the ordinance for second reading would be continued to April 28th, and it would technically be a continuation of the first reading and only reading on the resolution.
Right, but there would be a second reading required.
No, for
No?
the site plan, it's one and done. The commission, the text
So
amendment
we're
is
still
also
kind of cramming it into 2-week period, is that?
A month.
4
A
weeks?
month.
Is it 4 weeks? 4 weeks, okay.
April 28th.
All right,
If the
Okay.
applicant is, you're able to do that with the complete drawings? So they're willing to try, so if they want to try, we can try. No problem.
All right, but okay. So, but we still have an option at that time. If we're still concerned, questions, we can, again, delay or move it.
That is your control.
All right, perfect. I just want to make sure. I do want to go on the record by saying I was at both meetings, and I just want to express my appreciation of our residents who were out there talking with the attorney and the developer, but I also want to thank the developer and the attorney for meeting with you and having candid conversations. This is what it's all about. And this is how we get to a resolution where both sides can kind of meet halfway. I know not everyone's going to be happy, but I think this is a really positive step that both sides are talking and they're positive discussions. And I just want to thank both of you for doing that. Thank you.
Okay. We're pretty much done with I've closed the public comments for this time, and we are going to continue them so we can talk one-on-one, we can talk after the fact, but I believe that we have a settlement, an agreement between the developer and staff and at least the residents for now that we're going to continue this item until April 28th. Commissioner Llewellyn,
I believe we need to make a motion, correct?
A motion would be needed, yes, and I would recommend a motion to, you can do one motion to approve, sorry, not approve, but to continue 12.1 and 10.2.
Okay, so I will make a motion to continue items 12.1 and 10.2 until the April 28th, 2026 meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn. Do I have a second?
And you have a second.
Have a second from Commissioner Romoli. All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, this item is continued until April 28th. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and working together, and hopefully we'll move forward with this on April the 28th. Thank you. All right. We are now at item 13, discussion and possible action items. Eve, if you could please read item 13.1.
Yes, Mayor. It's a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, approving a shortlisted artist ranking and authorization to proceed with one of the top 3 artist projects for fiscal year 2025-2026, providing for conflicts and effective date community development.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission. Eleanor Norina, Community Development Director. So this is the Creative Call to Artists. This has been long coming. February 1st, 2025, we published a call, 30 artists responded, and in July 2025, we shortlisted that list from 30 down to 8. We came to you to recommend approval of the 8 listed.
I'm gonna hold up here, we need to have some order so that we can hear our Community Development Director properly. You go ahead, Eleanor.
Appreciate that, Mayor. Thank you very much. So, like I said, in July of last year, we shortlisted the 30 artists down to 8. And over the past 8 months, the Public Art Advisory Board has been reviewing and meeting and receiving presentations from these 8 artists and going back and forth. We've been ranking them. And we've provided you a full ranking of all 8 artists and projects. We're asking the Commission to approve that ranking. That is the full ranking there. We're also asking not only to approve that full ranking, but approve to proceed with one of the top 3 artists' projects. And the budget for either one of those projects would be not to exceed $50,000. So I'll briefly go through the 3 projects. The Underwater Dania Beach is from Xavier Cartada. He's a world-renowned artist that specializes in resiliency and floodwaters and flood resiliency. So this would be a multi-phase public art project that combines temporary installations, community pop-up events, and a permanent sculpture to build environmental awareness around climate change and sea level rise. So I'm sure you've seen some of his projects in other cities where they put the signs out in front of people's homes so they understand what their flood elevation is, and when you drive through the neighborhoods, you kind of see, are you at a 7? I'm at a 6. And it's a very fun, engaging activity. And it culminates into a large piece that would be presented. It could be in concrete, it could be in metal. We haven't gone to the specifics yet, but it would be a larger piece either here at City Hall or at Frost Park was the 2 locations proposed for that.
And not to interrupt, but that one's actually at the County Commission, the number 4, so, yeah.
Oh, at their City Hall?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And then the second project is the Ocean in a Drop. It's a large-scale sea-inspired ceramic mosaic mural that would be collaborative created with residents of Dania Beach, inspired by the idea that each individual holds creative potential and that shared contributions form a powerful whole. The artwork celebrates the city's coastal identity, interconnectedness, and community spirit. This is one of the locations proposed, which would be a great idea. I think our fountain needs a little refreshing, and a public art piece would ideally be put there as well. So we're recommending that location. They did propose, if you see in your backup, a second location, which would be at C.W. Thomas Park. I don't have that image in this presentation, but you will see it as well. We're recommending the City Hall Foundation, the Public Art Park.
Okay.
The third project is the mural at Olson Middle School. It's a large-scale exterior mural designed specifically for the main entrance of the wall at Olson Middle School. An ICANN magnet program
school serving a significant population of economically disadvantaged students. The mural will span approximately 20 feet tall by 120 feet wide. And this is one of the renderings of the proposed mural. There was, in your backup, you'll see there's 3 other additional options. Right, and Public Art Advisory Board is recommending approval of ranking of the 8 artists and selecting one of the top 3. And staff is also recommending approval. So I leave it for you for discussion, and I'm here for any further questions.
I did have a question, and I missed one of the art board meetings because I was out of town or something, but I thought that we were at one point going to move forward, or the recommendation was to move forward with 2 of the 3. Did that change to 1? And I just missed that because I really love 2 of them. I love all 3 of them, but I just wanted to, because I remember at one point we discussed moving forward with 2 of the 3 of them.
Yes, so we would like to move forward with actually all of them, but we need to time them and make sure we're receiving the right revenues for the budget for each project. So we were looking at how much revenue was received this fiscal year, and based on that budget, it's financially sound to go forward with one project this year, and then we'll come back to you with the other projects for next fiscal year.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. One of the things you had there was at Olson Middle School. That's a beautiful mural. What happens if the school board takes it away, the school away?
That was a conversation that we had with the city attorney to see if there would be some language that can be put in there to protect our investment. I defer to her for that conversation, but that's
Okay, we can talk
mainly
about
why
it later.
that's not the number one.
Before it gets approved or anything like that, I mean, it's just a thought that came up because I know that's a constant battle keeping, I know our administration's worked very hard to keep Olson open. I just don't want to see something go wrong and all of a sudden we put this money into a mural and next year it gets bulldozed, so, but,
If I may, through the mayor. If I may, Madam Mayor, through you.
Absolutely.
I, at this point, with the instability and what's going on with Broward School Board and being financially sound, I would recommend to look at the 1 and 2. But right now at Olson, I will put that on the shelf until we see stability because we're not seeing that now.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Anybody else have any comments? So if we're looking at, Olson was the 3rd one, was it not? So 1 or 2. And in fairness, Dania Underwater, it really is a cool project. It's hard to explain it until I can understand the depth of it until the actual artist came and really presented it. But it really, I do highly recommend it. I think it's an amazing project, but I like number 2 as well. So, you know, I'd be interested in hearing your opinions, but it really comes to life when you hear the artist talk about it. So, Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate the presentation. Good job, Eleanor. All 3 of them look great. They definitely improve our community overall. I hear your comments, Manager, when it comes to the school board and mayor, but you know, we've been fighting to keep Olson open for so long. This would almost be more of an incentive also, you know, for the school board to look at and be like, look at Dania Beach, they just put a mural on this school. And once again, it would be more of an incentive to keep Olson open, I would say, you know, just from that lens. I can't guarantee anything. But yeah, I like all 3, and if I had a choice, I would narrow it down to 1 and 3. Number 1 looks like a great concept, and it seems a little more educational. And, you know, he picks sites throughout the city. So you could almost pick a site at Olson as well, because it's educational and it's art 2 in 1. And that's why I like number 1, because it seems like he could travel around the city.
It does.
And then he has like a final piece. Yeah, it's like a series. So I would agree with that. But I just wanted to mention that about Olson Middle School. You know, this commission, this administration, as Vice Mayor said, has worked extremely hard to provide assistance to that school in any way we possibly can and to communicate with the school board. So I just want to put that out there. 1 and 3 would definitely be my top 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan. City Clerk, we might need your help. We got 1 and 3 from Commissioner Ryan.
The staff
Commissioner
recommendation is to
Romoli.
approve 1 for this budget. So
Right,
if you
but-
want to go forward with that, and then we can always bring back the other 2 as the budget comes along.
Right, but we still need to pick the one between all of us, and so we're just going through and seeing what that majority is for the one. Commissioner, I thought you had.
Wait, I hadn't gone yet. So I can go, right?
Yes, go.
Thank you.
Commissioner Llewellyn. Yeah.
Thank you. I have the same concerns that the vice mayor has about Olson. Because no matter how many times we go and fight, it still seems to keep coming up. And I don't know that putting a mural on the wall is going to make a difference to them. If they want that property, then they're going to take that property back at some point. They are having major issues, financial issues there that are being audited and investigated and everything else. And I'm not comfortable with approving something like that at this point, especially as our primary choice. I would go with either one or two. I think we're leaning more and more towards one, it sounds like. But I would really love something to be done with our City Hall fountain. I mean, and that's pretty, and it's nice, and it would be, so I almost kind of want to go with two, but if majority goes towards one, I'll go with one. So, thank you. Because I do like the educational aspect of it as well. Anyway.
Come on, guys. All right, Vice Mayor.
Okay, I'm gonna make the choice and you guys will have to deal with it. So, somebody's gonna take charge. Listen, as far as the Olson goes, Commissioner Ryan, you're right about how it would look, and I think it'd be a great statement to the Broward County School Board. But there's nothing going to stop them if there's no finance. They're going to shut it down. Now, we could get a guarantee from Broward County that they would repay us for it, then that would be okay with me. But as far that is not going to happen either. So, I would table that item until we get a guarantee, because I would not want to put that money out there. But my favorite, just if you want an opinion, I do like number two. I think it needs to bring some brightness to City Hall. City Hall is something that's our landmark, and I think we need to start at home and then work our way out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, for your thoughtful leadership. Commissioner Ramon.
Vice Mayor, I'm so inspired by you. I actually like them all as well, but I'm sort of leaning towards two as well, because we do a lot here at City Hall, and the exposure would be awesome. And did we ever consider doing something at Dania Beach Elementary? It has such high exposure on Federal Highway, and with that type of a mural, I think it would just be beautiful, because it is so exposed with traffic. Thoughts? I mean, I know we can't afford to do it now, but I think it needs a facelift anyways.
So the artist actually brought that location proposal to us. I believe they were working with the school board or Olson directly. We haven't reached out to that school, but it's something we can discuss at our next Public Art Advisory Board.
Just a thought, because I agree with everybody else about Olson. As much as I would love to see that there, I'm so concerned about the stability of that. But Dania Beach Elementary, great exposure. I think it's named after us. I think it'd be a great idea. So I would go for number two, Mayor. So.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you to our Public Art Advisory Board, our chair, our previous board members, and Eleanor and Corinne, because this does take an exorbitant amount of time to go through all these applications and these interviews, and they come in and they present for a very long time, and it is a very long process that they go through. So thank you all. And I was excited with all three of them. I really was excited with all three. I'm an educator, so I love children going around the city and learning, but I love how pretty number two is. And so I really am very, very excited about that. I've been wanting to do something to that water fountain for years now. And so I think we might have a motion to do that. So Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor. Obviously, I know where we're going, okay? But I just want to put it out there that all of our art is just solely focused at City Hall. We really don't have any art spread out throughout the community. The City Hall's Arts Park, Commissioner Weld. So it's pretty much, it's there. It's all centralized. So it would be nice to see it spread out throughout the city a little more. That's why I suggested number one. Thank you.
And you're right. You bring a really good perspective, Commissioner Ryan. I am going to say that is a very valid point, that we do need to spread our public art out throughout the city a little bit more. I do agree with that. But do we have, I just need a motion for number two. Commissioner Llewellyn.
I'm gonna do a motion to approve artist number 2 with the fountain.
And remember, I'm sorry, Mayor, if I may, you're also approving the.
All 8 artists, so make a motion.
Yes. To approve the 8 artists and then number 2 as the project.
All right, I have a motion from Commissioner Llewellyn for all 8 artists, and number 2, Commissioner Romoli.
Yes. Do a second.
Second from Commissioner Romoli. Do you need to take, you want to take a vote on this, or no? All in favor say aye. Aye, okay. And it is approved unanimously. What is that? Item 13.1. All right, we're getting some more beautification. Eleanor?
Mayor, thank you. I just want to clarify, the other 7 projects aren't dead in the water. That just means they're just tabled and they could be for future fiscal years. I just wanted to clarify that.
And then next year, when we get our new fiscal budget, then we can move and we can choose 1 or 3 at that time as well, or how we want to move forward with the next projects.
I'll bring
correct?
it back to the board, yes.
All right, thank you. All right, great job, Commission. Thank you so much. That is a positive note. And then I will move on then to item 13.2. City manager recommendation. Wow, this day is coming. All right, so I just want to, I'm gonna gather myself and my thoughts, but I do want to say that tonight is a very important moment for the city of Dania Beach. But before I speak about the future, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the past and express our gratitude, my gratitude, our gratitude. We have been incredibly fortunate for 7 years to have a strong, trailblazing leadership under our current city manager. These past 7 years have been transformational for the city of Dania Beach, and we have seen progress, strategic direction, major projects move forward, and an organization that has grown stronger, more professional, and more prepared for the future. On behalf of this city commission and this community, we say thank you. Your leadership has helped position Dania Beach for the future we are now stepping into. And we are forever grateful for your service to our city. And now, as we look forward to the future, I want to not only speak as the mayor, but as an educator. Before I was ever a commissioner, before I was ever a mayor, I was a teacher. And one thing that you learn very quickly in education is that leadership is a process. There comes a time when an assistant becomes the director, the commissioner becomes the mayor, the student becomes the teacher. I have always believed that true leadership is mentorship, preparation, and knowing when to pass the baton to the next leader who is ready to take on the role. For the past 15 years in municipal government, and for the past 6 years that I have personally worked with him in the city of Dania Beach, first as commissioner and now as mayor, I have watched Candido Sosa Cruz lead, problem solve, manage crisis, build teams, develop budgets, and implement strategic plans and help guide this organization through complex operational challenges. Under the mentorship and leadership of our trailblazing city manager, Candido has been, in every sense of the word, an A+ student. He has learned this organization, he has helped build this organization, and he has helped lead this organization. He has served as Deputy City Manager, Executive Director of the CRA, overseen major departments, including Public Services, Community Development, Information Technology, and the Fire Department. He has helped develop several city budgets, helped implement the strategic plan, and he has served as acting city manager, providing continuity and stability whenever called upon. He is an ICMA credentialed manager. He holds a Master of Business Administration and Strategic Management and a degree in finance. He has served in a leadership role across multiple municipalities and public agencies, and he served our country most honorably in the United States Marine Corps, where he learned the values of discipline, service, and leadership. But more important than the titles and degrees is his character. Candido is a man of integrity. He is respectful, he is calm under pressure. He is trusted by staff, trusted by leadership, and trusted by this commission. He does not seek recognition, he seeks results. He seeks solutions. And he has demonstrated year after year after year a standard of excellence that any city would be proud to serve and have in its leadership. Recently, I attended a State of the University address where the president said a phrase that stayed with me. He said, "This is what excellence looks like." And when I heard that phrase, I immediately thought of Candido Sosa Cruz, because we have already seen it. He has already proven it. Through his leadership, his professionalism, his discipline, and his commitment to this city, he has already shown us what excellence looks like. And so tonight, I will simply say this. There comes a time when the assistant becomes the director, when the commissioner becomes the mayor, when the student becomes the teacher. And for Candido Sosa Cruz, that time is now. Because we have already seen what he has already proven, this is what excellence looks like. And so I am proud, extremely proud, to recommend Candido Sosa Cruz as the next city manager for the city of Dania Beach. Thank you. Truly, Candido, you have earned it, and I know that you are going to continue to lead us forward in the brightest of the futures. So thank you, City Manager, for your leadership, for your mentorship, and for giving us the next best manager of the city of Dania Beach. So with that, Vice Mayor, you have your.
Well, Mayor, I have to tell you, that was a great speech that you did for our manager that will be leaving and our hopefully our deputy manager that's coming in to take over. And you're absolutely right, Candido, you've done a great job. We lean on you a lot. And you surely come to the post when it's time to help us out. And I couldn't think of anybody better to come into this place and take over where Anna leads us, because you already know what's going on. You are involved in every aspect of the city. Everybody here I know respects you. So it's a great, easy exchange for us. And with that, I just want to tell you that, you have my vote to be our next manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner Llewellyn.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things to say, but stop. You're in trouble tonight. Okay. But first, I wanted to say something to our mayor. So when we selected Anna Garcia to be our city manager, I was the mayor at the time, and it was, to this day, the most important and the best decision that I've made since I've been sitting on this dais. And I think you will be able to look back at your time on this dais and feel the same way about the recommendation you're making tonight. This is a really important role. It's an important position. Before I was on the dais, I saw the commission go through a process of looking for a city manager, and it did not go very well. We did it again once I was elected, and as I said, was in the mayor position, and it was a challenging process, time-consuming, almost got delayed even further, but we picked the right person, and that's clearly been seen over the last 7 years. And we trusted her to pick the right people, and she has, and brought with her an excellent second. And Candido, you have done a phenomenal job as our deputy city manager, and I would also recommend and would vote in favor of you. Something I do want to say as well, though, I've been hearing from residents for a few months now. Once Anna had announced that she was going to be retiring, and I mean, most of you know, I'm out and about a lot, and I run into people all the time, and I can't tell you how many residents have come up to me and said, "You're not going to go for a search, are you? You're going to promote Candido. Please, you have to. He's wonderful. He answers our calls. He calls us back. He takes care of everything for us." That says a lot. It's the culture here is one thing, and having people that respect you and appreciate you and do listen to you and learn from you. But our residents are really happy with you, and that's something that's a huge factor. We want to know that that's going to continue. Our residents need that stability, just like our city employees do. So with that, I would like to pass the baton on to whoever's next and say, you've got my vote. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn. Just move down the line. Commissioner Romoli.
Thank you, Mayor. And I also want to thank you, Mayor, for your incredible words to not only our sitting city manager, who's amazing, but also words to our deputy city manager, Candido Sosa Cruz. I had the privilege of meeting Anna before she was hired, and I knew right away, just by speaking to her, what kind of person she was, the spark that she generated, the enthusiasm that she showed, and she didn't disappoint. Every single time I see you, Anna, you're full of enthusiasm, optimism. You don't think about yourself, you think about your team, you think about the city. And I don't think you ever sleep without thinking about what you're going to do the next day. And you've passed that exuberance to your entire staff. And it shows by every single person that I reach out to at this city, their interest and their enthusiasm to help. I feel like I have a direct line to the White House with Candido Sosa Cruz because Candido, how many times I call you, talk to you, email you, text you every single day. And I feel like you have given me, like I'm the only person you speak to. That's the kind of person you are. Even though I know you have a tremendous amount on your plate, I never feel that. And I want to thank you for that. And that's what makes a great leader. You're always calm. You never, ever feel like it's too overwhelming. And we need that calmness. We need that stability. And you have absolutely my vote to be the next city manager of Dania Beach. And again, Anna, thank you for everything that you have done for us and all the things that you have made me better as a person as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramoli. Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor. There's a few things I want to say, but I want to approach this from a professional manner because that's exactly what this is, okay? It's a position that I don't take lightly, and it's a position that no one else here takes lightly. I've been through the process with the Solid Waste Authority of hiring an executive committee director with 28 out of 31 cities in Broward County. It was an exhaustive process. Obviously being the executive director of that committee is very important, and then we just had to go through it again 2 weeks ago. So we went through a very long process where it took about 2 months, 2.5 months, and then we just did a rushed one where it took us about 2 weeks. So I am well versed on this, and I know that we're talking all fluffy and happy, but this is, like I said, this is a business decision, and we run this city like a business, and this is CEO, and so we have to sometimes think outside of our silos that we live in. Sometimes we're in a bubble as a commission and elected officials, and we want to see what the perception is, right, from our residents, and we want to let them know that we did do the proper process and the right thing. It would be nice to see what the process would look like if we had to go that route. And let me say first and foremost, second, that Anna Garcia, your leadership has been fantastic. You're the only city manager I know as an elected official, okay? And Candido Sosa Cruz, right-hand man, always there for us. I echo everything you guys say, and I never say it. And I echo everything you guys say about Candido, definitely the guy for the job. But, not trying to be a naysayer, but I'm just saying perception is everything. And we don't want to make this look like, we just handed over the keys. And also, to see how important that the deputy manager is, who do we know is going to be the deputy manager? Because then that's going to be our right-hand man to go to, or woman, right-hand man or woman, to go to also. So it is something that we have to think about. It's not just, hey, you're city manager, take the keys, right? It's like, okay, well, we have to know who's going to be the second, who's next up, and city manager has a lot of authority to choose that. So it's just things I want the commission to consider. And obviously I know where this is going again, but this is much more important than a piece of public art. This is the future of our city. It's the future of my hometown, and it's very important. So, of course, I think Candido is the man for the job, 100%. But should there be a proper process that we have to go through as a city, picking our next CEO of Dania Beach? And I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you very much.
Are you recommending a process, or are you recommending something different?
No, I would just want to see. I would say what that process looks like, right? I don't want to go and spend a bunch of money and go out and put out an RFP for a new city manager and spend $15,000-$20,000, or who knows what we're going to spend if it's just going to be a unanimous vote anyways. But just for public perspective, it would be nice to see what that process would possibly be instead of just handing it over. Does that make sense?
That does make sense
Okay.
too. I mean, I only because I felt that way when it was the city attorney, when it was assistant city attorney to attorney, and I wanted to see what the process was like. But, in this case, I think that we have seen, like I said, exactly, he's 100% the person for the job. But you have a point in saying what is the public perspective of, is there a process that we're skipping over, or can we just move directly from this? I know that this commission, or at least I personally, have no doubt that anybody else would be better for the job. But just a lot of times, even when you put an RFP out there and you already know who's the best for the job, you still have to go through the process and then come back with whoever it is at the end. So I understand what you mean by going through the process, because I'm a process person just in general. So I understand your point with that.
And just as important as our manager is, our deputy manager is equally as important, as we've all experienced throughout our time as elected officials.
So I do understand your point with that. I understand that.
Okay.
Vice Mayor?
Well, I'm going to give you a different point of view. you talked about it being a business, which the city is a business, and I've been in business for 50 years. And I don't think either one of you can claim that. And you talk about process. There's nothing better than having a manager, and whether it's I'm going to business, I don't have any deputy managers in my business, but a manager that runs your business successfully and does a great job. And when you talk about the residents, I talk about them as customers. And when those customers can repeatedly come back to my store with happiness and want to buy product and talk about you and word of mouth through the city and build your business up, something's right. And all that does is it also builds morale in the store with all the rest of the employees that are happy with that manager, because that manager treats them with respect and dignity and gives them and listens to them and tells them, helps them do what they need to do in times of need and maybe a family problem and stuff like that. I think over the last years that we've been with them in here, there is no search. The search is here. We're lucky. We're so lucky to already have that process in place, because it's here. If anybody's got a complaint, put it in the suggestion box. Then I would go through a review. I don't think you'll get a suggestion. I think because I can't see one employee that's disgruntled. We talked about lack of turnover in the city. We had 4% turnover in the city. You're looking for more issues by going out when everybody is satisfied. You got a winner. You got somebody that can do the job. You got somebody that's already knows this thing, runs the show, and what else do you want? So I think that the process needs to be bypassed. I think we need to take a vote. I think that he needs to be our next city manager, and that's my vote. And I think that without going through that, I think the process I just got a text, just an email, which just now, about how happy they are as a resident and if you don't believe me, I'll show it to you. There's trust factors in the city about our residents, how they think, and that recommendation said that you are the best thing that's ever happened to our city, as always calling back, just like she just said. So with that, Mayor, I don't think we need to drag anything out. I think it has to be a 4-1 vote to move forward with that. And I think that let's just take the vote and make it, and let's move forward and not go through any other process.
I want to say one thing real quick.
No.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to a vote. Really quickly, because all right. I'm sorry.
I just want to say one thing. So when Anna was hired, she made the decision as to who her deputy was going to be, and we did not know Candido. None of us that was sitting on the dais. I'm the only one that's still here. None of us knew Candido. She made that choice because she knew that he would do the right job, and she continued training him over all these years. And look where we are now. That's all I want to say. So we're putting trust in the person that we want in this position to make the right decisions.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn.
Thank you.
We don't have a motion, so I need a motion. Vice Mayor, I'm gonna let the Vice Mayor make the motion. Hold on, we got a lot. Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that with Anna's retirement, that we move Candido Sosa Cruz into our new management position, and would like to take it to a vote. Please, I can get a second.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner Romoli, you want to make the Go ahead, Commissioner Llewellyn.
I would like to second Candido Sosa Cruz as our next city manager.
All right, let's go ahead and take it to a vote. City Clerk.
Commissioner Llewellyn?
Yes.
Commissioner Romoli?
Yes.
Commissioner Ryan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Salvino?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
100% yes.
Mayor, the motion carries.
Mayor, I will be contacting each of you to talk about a contract for Candido Sosa Cruz as our upcoming city manager, and we'll be placing on a future agenda. There is a 5-day advertising requirement for any contract.
Okay. Thank you, City Attorney, for the legalese on that, but congratulations once again, Candido, and thank you once again, City Manager, for being an amazing mentor and leaving us in such great hands. All righty then, we are almost getting there. We're getting there. We have item 13.2, which is the Broward League of Cities appointments for 26-27. This is sponsored by me. The next fiscal year is coming up and will be the new installation of the president on May 30th. Vice Mayor, we do need to formally have a nomination so that it is on the record of who the director is, the alternate, and the second alternate. That is the process. And so I am on the executive board, so, the first vice president. So, Vice Mayor?
Yes, Mayor, thank you very much. Understanding the League of Cities, and you have been representing us as the city, our appointment. But I also understand that you've been will be elected to the League of Cities Broward County president. Is that correct? Congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
And with that, I would like to make a motion, to have you represent us again. And I know that Commissioner Romoli, you are, our alternate. But when you move into that position, Mayor, and to the president, I'm happy to hope that Lewis can represent us at that point. I'm not sure if anybody else wants to be. Do we have
The second alternate.
Okay. And then Commissioner Ryan would be the second alternate if you'd like.
Yes.
Because who's here? Because you're done at the end of this. Yeah, okay, so you could make it for that part. You don't care. Let him do it. We're going to make it a man's world down there then.
Is that your motion,
No,
Vice
yeah, that's
Mayor?
my motion. I had to do that to Anna.
Do I have a second, please?
And second.
Second from Commissioner Romoli. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, colleagues, for your support on that, and we will transmit that to the Broward League of Cities. It is a unanimous decision that I will be the next director or president, and Commissioner Romoli will be the second alternate, and will be the first alternate, and Commissioner Ryan will be the second alternate. Thank you, Commission. All right. Appointments, I'm still not ready on that one. Commission comments, we will start with Commissioner Llewellyn.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you for indulging me a moment ago. I just needed to say that. First of all, I want to, again, congratulate Candido. And I'm feeling all the love in the room here, everybody here that works for the city that's come here to support him and been close by while we were discussing this. And I think that's really important, and it says a lot. And thank you, Manager, for everything you have done yet again. But I'm saving all my comments for the last meeting. So anyway, lots going on in the city. And, as always, everybody's busy. We keep seeing more and more things happening, more and more events coming up, more and more exposure to the city. I think everyone's doing a great job. I think we're doing a great job, quite frankly, and I don't think we get to hear that enough. So I think everybody needs to hear that. I'm not going to make a bunch of comments. I appreciate all the work that everybody's doing and working together as a team and like a little family, because it really is a little family here in Dania Beach. And that's all I have. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Llewellyn. Commissioner Romoli.
Thank you, Mayor. You and I attended the multi-chamber luncheon at the Fort Lauderdale Improv. However, the good news is that they're willing to change it back, I believe, and we're going to work on that, right, Mayor?
Yes, 100%.
Get it to the Dania Beach Improv again.
Yes.
They were very open to the idea, and we made a point to make sure that we get that coming back. Dania After Dark, again, Parks and Rec, you blew it out of the water. It was wonderful, great event. Had so many people come up to me and say it was the best ever. But they say that all the time, so every time you go out there, it's the best ever, which it is.
It is true.
I appreciate that. Also, the Tamara James gym ribbon cutting was a beautiful event. The gym is amazing. That CW Thomas Park is amazing. So we're really fortunate to live in a city where we can do this in our parks, and it's an incredible facility. Dania Beach Lions Moonlight Car Show was another successful event. It was a beautiful weather. It was like the perfect time to hold something like this. And I had the ability to talk to a lot of people who came down and displayed their car as far as Montreal, Canada. And they do the whole circuit down the Eastern Seaboard. So it was nice to talk to the people. They had a lot of great things to say about our city, and we just keep trying to introduce new things like this to our city, and it's great for our residents as well. And last thing is, again, I want to say, Anna, thank you for everything you do. I want to also echo the comments of our vice mayor. As a business owner for the past, 40 years myself, I'm not as old as the vice mayor. Yeah, that's right. He is absolutely correct. When you're in business for yourself, our whole goal is to have our associates, the people that work for you, be able to step in when they're needed. I've noticed that more and more with my staff being now a commissioner and having me step away from my 3 businesses that I run. I don't even run anymore. My staff runs them. I sign the checks and put payroll in, and that's it. They brief me, and that's the beauty of having people that you've mentored for many years. 4% turnover. I have 0% turnover, and I have for the last 15 years, the same people working for me. So I think that says something, doesn't it? Yes. They love what they do. We love each other. We support each other. And that's what it takes to have a successful business and a successful city manager. So thank you to the both of you very much. And for that, good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramoli. Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor. Made a big decision tonight. So happy with it. I had to state my comments for a reason, because we are representing the people, all right? Most of the people who come here, they don't represent the whole entire city, all right? So you have to speak for the people, and that's what I want to remind everybody about. But Candido Sosa Cruz, 100%, has my support. Want to let you know that, all right? Don't serve with any doubt, man. Come on. City's in good hands. He's very receptive with everybody, all the commissioners. Like Commissioner Ramali said, he makes you feel like it's just you that he's dealing with, which is a special trait that not everybody has. Maybe he would be a good businessman, actually, right? If he went into the private practice. But we're lucky to have him, and the future's bright for Dania Beach. Anna, I'm sure she'll still be in his ear, and our ear probably, when she leaves, which is great, though. And it shows you that she loves this city, right? These people drive over an hour sometimes every day to come down here, and over an hour back home. So it's probably 2.5 hours of commute. So I commend you for that. Dania After Dark was a great experience. The opening of the ribbon cutting of the Tamara James Gym was special. CW Thomas Park is fully functioning right now. Football season's coming up. Everybody's very excited about it. We had a nice little video that we did with the media team. It came out well. Hopefully recruit some kids out here. And we had the Reach Kids over here today. And I was lucky enough to walk over from my office and show the kids around City Hall. Maxine hosted them initially, right, and waited for me for 45 minutes. But she showed them around to Arts Park and to our brand new Veterans Park. And we showed them up here in City Hall. They all came up on the dais. We took pictures with them. It's nice for kids to see city government. And they saw all of your guys' offices. I even showed them Commissioner Salvino's office. And yeah, I said it's all wide open for you, kids. And yesterday at Veterans Park was special. All right, that was a big accomplishment on the city. We've never had a Veterans Park in the city really like commemorating our veterans and our war heroes. So that was special. And to have the mural come on, and then we had the sign yesterday, Then we're going to have, I guess, phase 3, right, of having the walk path through with another memorial. It's just coming along great. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. They have the song, Paved Paradise, put up a parking lot, and we took out a parking lot and put up Paradise, all right? So that was, I would challenge anyone to pick another city in Dade, Broward, West Palm Beach who took out a parking lot and turned it into a park. So that's very impressive, and it was right under our noses, right, manager? We're just looking out the window one day, and oh, there you go. So that was quite an accomplishment. We're very busy as a city. We have, what, 2 Dania After Darks left? Or just one? Wow. All right, 1 Dania After Dark left for the year. Our city manager's last one. Mine and Commissioner Llewellyn's last one, too. Okay. Oh, you have one in October. Yeah, we do have one in October. You're right. Okay. So, but our last one for this, the festive year of Dania After Dark. So be sure to come out next week or next month, second Saturday of next month. Everybody have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryan. Vice Mayor Salvino.
How do you talk so long? I forgot what I was going to say. No, Commissioner Ryan, on your thoughts on the city manager, years ago, that process would have worked perfectly. And I don't disagree with that process whatsoever, just so you know. It's just that I'm very comfortable with what I feel I have today. As far as my office goes, I want to thank all of you for filling it up that I don't have any room in there, so you can show that off to everybody. And I'm the only one that doesn't have a plaque on the wall that says my name because everybody's got boxes in front of it. So, but thank you for that. And that's all I have to say. It's just enough.
You need to end on a positive note, Vice Mayor. I won't repeat everything that everyone has said. I just want to thank this entire team. This has been a privilege and a pleasure to work with this entire team. I am so honored to work with a group of professional people who have such high standards in this city. Everything we do, from events to meetings, everything that we do, we are setting the standard, and we're getting ready to set a standard with a flying car this week. So we are leading the innovation and technology. We are bringing new businesses here, and people are starting to see, if they haven't been seeing, especially over the last 7 years that you've been here, city manager, and since we've done our strategic plan, that Dania Beach is truly a place of transformation, and it attracts a lot of people to want to be a part of it. So when you do that and you have great relationships and you have a Triple Crown award-winning finance team that gets awards, that is the kind of team that you can be proud of. And so we have our art, we have our business, we have such an amazing team. We have great staff. And so it is still an honor and privilege to work with each and every one of you. I did attend all the events, the car shows, and I also want to give a shout out to Mrs. Jantasia Hoff, who did a wonderful 25-year anniversary right here in IT Parker for her husband, Eric Hoff, for his 25, I thought it was 26 years of service, but maybe 25 looks better on the thing. But it was a beautiful celebration for BSO. So we have a lot of people who have been here for a long time and dedicated and committed to our city. So thank you, each and every one of you. Candido, I cannot wait to work with you. You are going to be an amazing, amazing city manager because you had an amazing, amazing mentor. So thank you all, and let's have a great night. Break it down.